What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for... Sorry, I'm looking at my volume. It's peaking a little bit. Different software today. For Wednesday, July 20th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Hope everybody's doing well. Truly appreciate you for tuning in. And let's take a look at this third quarter square. Let's take a look at this moon coming into Taurus afterwards. There's a lot to talk about in the astrology, and I want to do just that with you. So, whoops, wrong button. Oh no. It's going to do me dirty like that. I just had my hotkeys working. Oh. Unbelievable. Why does it do that to me? Anyways, here's the chart. I'll do it the old-fashioned way with a mouse. All right, so as we look at the chart, we got that moon when we start off this day. This chart's run for, almost 9 o'clock a.m. on the West Coast. I usually run my charts around noon, kind of midday, but I wanted to look at this chart a little earlier because we are looking at that moon, which is in... I don't think you can see my mouse either. Maybe you can. Maybe you can see my mouse on here. Oh yeah, cool. We got that moon in Aries, which is finishing up there. We've been having this transit. It's intense because it has to square over to Pluto retrograde. And also Chiron just went retrograde. So that's another factor that's playing into this square is like, oh gosh, like if we weren't working on this empowerment within ourselves, and especially kind of using that boom, that power, like we can feel very vulnerable to not feeling powerful right now, to not feeling strong. That moon squaring Pluto definitely having us look really deep, but it's also making that third quarter square over to the sun in Cancer today as well. So it's very interesting as the sun's about to come off that opposition to Pluto and come to that 28th degree today, that we're getting to this almost like level of this initiation point of some big integration, some big... Let's make some steps. Let's go make some things happen. Let's go start things. It's a lot of cardinal energy. Cardinal is the starting force, So I think it's really important to remember, yes, it's a third quarter square and we're waning into a new cycle and a new moon in Leo, but there's a lot of these things about this Cancer element of your personal life and the things that you're committing to and dedicating to that are so important to really pay attention to and to really look at. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I used to be pretty good with OBS, and I know David's about to do his show, so I'm not using live stream, and I've been struggling with OBS. It's not been my friend lately. And I can't run my iPad currently, so I'm not drawing. Anyways. This waning third quarter square is this big initiation point of this foundation in your personal life and this emotional value system that's going to this crazy new level with the North Node Uranus. And to think about that too, we have Venus coming to 3 degrees today, which is in semi-square, 45 degrees to Uranus and approaching a semi-square over to the North Node. So this way of supporting yourself and feeling strong and empowered through integration and through initiation into some big purpose, but it's not necessarily big for what you think, for some big achievement. It's much more focused around a big integration and purpose within yourself. And I think to not feel wounded or to not feel set back, I feel like we can all be going through some weird challenges in life, some weird setbacks, some things that are testing us early in the day. But it's not like these things are, it's okay to get tested sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know we can always want to just be in this perfect flow, but sometimes we need to get tested. So today's bringing up some tension so that you can really find that supporting nature within yourself, so that you can really find what you're doing and what's going in the direction that's going to be about what your heart desires, what your emotional body is telling you, like really trusting the feeling of life right now. Mars is still at 10 degrees, which is cutting through that eclipse area still of the solar eclipse in Gemini. So like, I mean, this is a lot of things in our reality that are starting to really kick off about value in your life. Like, especially at that, wherever like 10 degrees of Taurus is in your chart, like pay attention to that point, because that was a big point with the eclipse, and now it's getting initiated. Mars is the initiator, the activator, and we're getting that with a moon square Pluto, with a third quarter square to the sun. Like, these are big things that deal with our self-confidence and the way that we can radically take different avenues in life and create. But we can't do it if we don't feel secure within ourselves and within our body and within the things that we feel really called to do. But we're also might be seeing these, big events show up in our life that are like blocking us from what our ego thought too, with that moon getting this big T-square energy in Aries. So we're having to check our ego, but not get down on ourselves if things aren't looking the way we thought they were. It's just being accepting and in a flow state in many ways, as the sun is still coming off and separating from a trine over to Neptune, like really trusting and having faith that like another door, because Jupiter's still direct, another door is going to open. And it could be a really empowering one. And it could give you a lot of just, I got this energy. And as that moon comes later on to the day, it's going to come into Taurus right around noon. And it's going to feel a lot better. So I feel like we can start the day off on a little like, it could be a little testy, very emotional. Having to, make emotional decisions. I mean, even moon square Pluto, this is intense emotional energy. So we in some ways too, we've been trying to manipulate outcomes and overpower certain aspects, and those aren't going to work. You'll see where, the universe will laugh at you and be like, you thought you had power and control over that situation in life? Good luck. So I think it's just being accepting of these things too, and having a flow and like letting things like run off your back, like things are going to be fine. But that Venus semi-square over to Uranus and approaching the North Node, with these energies, the North Node, Uranus and Mars, the dispositor of Venus in Taurus, or where in Taurus, where Venus is the dispositor, that relationship to your inner version of life, to what you're seeing through your eyes, to your own personal life, and how you support and uplift yourself and nurture yourself right now and take care of yourself through whatever's going on, is so important. So like, the universe could be throwing a twist and throwing a turn, and things can be happening, very strange or unpredictable in many ways, or relationships could be getting spicy, maybe good, maybe not, like either way, like you got to be like nurturing yourself through it and uplifting yourself. This is definitely with the moon coming into Taurus where you need to get back to knowing that you got it, that you got all the value, you got all the self-love, you got all the things you need to support yourself. And that moon is going to make a really nice sextile over to that Venus when it comes in there. So by the end of the day, it's like there's really good aspects here for anybody who's able to like not get so obsessed or crazy over situations they don't have control over, but to just nurture and take care and like feel good and find the things in life that make you feel better. Like if it makes you feel good to like grab something tasty to eat, to get a dessert, to like whatever. Like this is like stepping into feel good energy, because we've gone through a very like intense, especially 24 hours prior to this. Like it's okay to like let loose a little bit. Like I feel like people are very uptight, and there's like a little bit of a sense of worry too. Like don't worry so much. Let things go and just take care of yourself and uplift yourself. That's so important right now, because it's going to build a solid foundation to where things outside of you cannot throw you off. They cannot rub you the wrong way. They cannot hurt your feelings. Like there's a lot of body armor that we have to, especially with Chiron going retrograde. Like we got to really embrace this warrior within us and be strong. And if we are, it doesn't matter. You'll figure it out. You'll create new ways. You'll be in relationships that are exciting and nurturing and, hitting all the right buttons, all the right little switches, with Venus, Uranus, and semi-square. But it's important to remember to hit all your right buttons and switches and do things that make you happy and that make you feel really like whole and really good as we start to finish up Cancer season here, because we're just 3 days away from Leo season. And it's, it's real sensitive here, but the sun's also about to meet up with Ceres today. So, there is just a hyper fixation on like how well you can take care of yourself. And it's at 28 degrees, which is like very Taurus, makes a 10. Like, it is such a day to self-love, to self-care through your integration, through your transformation, through intensity. Let some things go so that the mutation within you and within your body can really take place to a place where you're so strong that nothing else is messing with you. Like, that's been the download today. Like, I was like talking to myself in the car earlier, and like that was the channel coming through, is like, we cannot be getting thrown off any longer by whatever the world and society is doing. With Pluto finishing up here in Capricorn in retrograde, and yeah, society is going to do some weird things. It's going to be fucking weird out there. I'm not even trying to like say that weird things aren't about to happen. Like, honestly, Uranus in Taurus at these degrees, like, we're getting into Holocaust territory. Back in the Hitler days. And I know that's intense to bring up, but like, well, that was last time Uranus was in this zone. And coming into the 20 degrees, like, and back then and it was actually 1855 that it was Uranus and the North Node met together in Taurus and had a South Node in Scorpio, and that was also like coming into Bleeding Kansas time, coming into Civil War time. So there's a lot of intense things out there. I'm not trying to say there's not, but it's so important through this transformation to realize how strong you are as a warrior, why you came here, your bigger purpose, how to connect to that energy, and how to really, with Saturn also here in Aquarius, like, we have to learn to be objective. And remember, like, Aquarius and even Uranus over there with the North Node, like, there's not a lot of emotion in Aquarius and Uranus energy. It's not there. It's void of emotion. It's pure observative intellect. And it's showing us how to relate better. It's showing us how to do things better, but it's not like necessarily in the most, oh, this is just fine way. So whatever shows up on this Wednesday, and it is a Mercury day. So it is, we want to be hermetic. We really want to look at all sides of the situation. Whatever shows up, let things go. Try not to get so upset. There's something better for everything in life that is dying in your life or whatever. There's something better coming. And we want to stay focused on, I think, the really positive manifestations that can come that you were never expecting as things start to shake. Like, it's interesting. And you know what I looked at too with Uranus, North Node, Taurus? A lot of earthquake stuff. And it always seems to happen in this zone, about 18, 16, 19, 20 degrees of Taurus. They always seem to meet there. And they're always, things shake. Uranus rules earthquakes. So there's just a lot of unpredictable things around the corner. So I think that this is a very important turning point here, and a day to remember how strong and on it you are and powerful, and to not get swayed from your path by outside influence. To really focus on what you're doing, what you're manifesting, who you're with, what your relationship is to a lot of things. Because even when it hits this point, which is only going to be about a 2-hour transit with the moon there in Aries, the opposite sign and the release point of that T-square is Libra. There's something too about, like, it's very important to see the other side of things. It's very important to relate. It's very important to be part of groups and to have like a strong delegation in your life right now. and to be able to make choices too about what is in alignment and what is not in alignment by really checking in with yourself. So I think it's a pretty big day. It's important to focus on the really powerful things and the really good and the really sensual and the things in life that make you feel top shelf quality in just your own body. Everything else, whatever might happen, it's really not that important. And I feel like those are the tests that show up today. It's like, where are we really going to try and force holding on to cycles and holding on to aspects that aren't even of your most authentic individual self? And why don't you relate to the things that are of that nature, that might be going a way you've never gone before, that might be a turn you've never taken before? So that's where I'm at with that. And I hope everybody has a great day. It's a pretty important day. What tarot cards? We'll use this deck. Ethereal Visions. It's going to be very interesting with this moon in Taurus. Tomorrow, we're looking at Moon Mars, where the eclipse energy happened. Getting ready for Moon North Node Uranus. Big value checks in our life. Like, whatever top shelf is to you, and this is so subjective, that's what you want to strive for right now. And you want to stay on that hot pursuit of what that level of value is to you. And really, I think, mother and nurture that man or woman into existence. The Hierophant, upright. I think we need to focus on, our values and our beliefs in a very strong way and really put that like grounded, strong intent into a lot of these things that we are trying to use within ourselves to support us through whatever's going on. It's almost like, this is a cool Hierophant. It really is kind of like, it's right, the Pope card, but this guy's like pretty zen. So I think like through intensity, through, whatever, can you find your own zen? Can you find your grounded place? Your center? The Emperor, wow. Because that's really where the ultimate empowerment is right now, and really where like you're calling the shots in your life is by not getting so worried about what is outside of yourself. Where things are going, the more non-attached you can be to whatever is going on or whatever somebody thinks or whatever situation shows up that doesn't directly affect your personal life and your relationships, like you're taking yourself out of your power. So it's a really strong time, I think, to find your direction and your power through just focusing on what's going on within yourself and going back in and making sure that that's in alignment with you. Doesn't even mean there has to be arguments on your side. Like, speak up when you have to speak up, but you can just like go do something else if you don't like what you're doing or what you're with. And the Magician in reverse. I can't believe we just pulled all three major arcana. And the Magician in reverse is like, yeah, you know what? It might feel for a brief moment today that there's no magic, or that I need some magical potion from something to help me empower myself, to help me even find the Zen spot. And I don't think that's the case either. So I think a lot of this is alchemizing yourself by coming into your empowerment in a very strong way. That's what this is. It's so powerful and in a direction in your life that is most supported by your soul. And I think you know, even if you don't feel like there's magic, there's always some magic going on, and it's how you empower yourself. It's how you find a lot of courage right now, and, how you take life head on in many ways without being attached to it. Like, we have to be an observer in a lot of ways and let things go. One more, because all those major arcana. Two of Pentacles upright. Yeah, it's like there's, kind of a chaos to this card. There's the water in the background. But again, sorry, my lights are like too bright to... There we go. There's also a very zen and balanced quality to this Two of Pentacles. Like, we get to choose if we want to find this balanced point. It's almost like a great place of like coming into your dharma in many ways, because you get to choose, like, do I want to choose chaos, or do I want to choose this whole place within myself that is of value, and to, pick. So we don't want to get stuck here either. We don't want to get stuck in limbo or juggling too many things. Like, find your magic, empower yourself, and, have a strong belief and a strong, value in yourself. And everything else is going to be just fine. You'll have the best day ever. You'll feel so ready to initiate the changes in your life that are going to bring more love into your life as we're building up. And waning away into this new lunation in Leo. And as we're coming into Leo season, which is intense. There's a lot of hard aspects for Leo coming up. Leo season. And Leos in general. But it is what it is. So, I love and appreciate you all very much. I hope you have a great Wednesday. And I will see you all next time. Much love. Peace.